up, guys? Thanks for coming by today. Got a nice little live stream for you guys. I'm going to do something a little bit different. Let me pull this mic a little bit closer to me. Going to do something a little bit different today. Instead of talking about just anime, I'm going to be talking about a certain subject that kind of went viral on Twitter the last day or so. Can a man love more than one woman at a time? Can he? Can he? That's what we're going to find out today. Yep, that's what we're going to find out today. Also, like and subscribe. And also, Rolo, Tomasi, I hate you. Because normally he's almost done with his live streams, but he got started late today. So it's like eating right into my my live stream. And it already doesn't get many views. So thanks. Appreciate you. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? The show will go on. Because really and truly, I don't do this for like money or clout or anything like this. I do this because this is the kind of stuff that interests me. And if you teach somebody, you're like 90% capable of remembering it and being able to implement in your life. You know, you can read something and it does a little bit. You can practice something, does a little bit. But if you teach somebody something, you're going to remember it. And that makes sense too, because you know how you'll be excited about something and you'll go tell somebody else about it and they don't really care, but you want to talk about it. And in doing so, it kind of cements it in your brain. So it makes sense. All right. We'll give everybody a few minutes to get in here and then we'll get started. And if anybody wants to, if anybody ever wants to come on here, let me know. Because I'll probably let you on here. Now, let's see. So what are we talking about today? Can a man love more than one woman? I mean, if you talk about that kind of thing online, then you're instantly going to get a lot of hate. And you're going to get a lot of ooh, women do it too kind of type thing. Or you're going to get a ooh, so can women from the women, you know, almost like they're trying to one up you somehow by saying that. I don't really understand, but okay. Now, if we go to my feed and we go to my page, profile, yeah. I want to know why I have to sign into this thing every single time. And I had to go to my settings every single time. It's just too much. It's just too much. see, display languages. Let's go to lights out mode. Bring that up. That changes the screen a little bit. I'll go to my profile. Okay, let's go to the original one. I mean, 26,000 impressions. That's pretty good, I guess. All right, so let's pull up where we show this. Oops, that's not it. Okay, now you can see it. Let me just pull this to the side. There we go. There, now we can see it. Okay, a man can absolutely love two women at the same time. I knew that this would be controversial because anytime you say anything about anything, they get their feelings hurt. By they, I mean the weirdos online. And I do appreciate Rolo for commenting on my stuff because usually when he comments on something, I start getting more traction. Especially if he retweets it, I start getting more traction. But we're going to check out some of the answers that people had on here. And I got some of them muted, so I'll have to unmute them where I can see them because they're just idiots. I don't argue with anybody online much anymore because Twitter has told us that basically if you argue with people who have no subs, it hurts your algorithm. So that's what you had to take that into consideration. Well, let's see. Better Southern accent than Marty. Heck yeah. I talk a lot slower too. But that's something that I found that's kind of annoying nowadays with a lot of people that do live streams is that they talk so fast because they're trying to just machine gun off all this information. And I figured out that if you talk like me, it actually gives people more time to kind of listen to what I'm saying. And in turn makes it easier for people to understand. But yeah, so some people like it, some people don't, but I can't do anything about it, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I can't really stand when people do the really fast talking on there. And some people do it on purpose. Some people sit there and go, I'm going to fire off all this information. I'm going to talk really fast so you don't have time to rebuttal it and or rebuke it. And at the same time, though, like you can always go back to those pages and just pause it and then say something and pause it. And so I don't really understand why that, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Let's see here. Okay, so let's go into some of these responses here. Casey Jones says, at a minimum. Hey, buddy. Oh. Hold on just a second, guys. All right, we're back. Every time I do a live stream, my little boy runs in here and starts wanting to chat it up with Daddy. So, I think they were trying to say physically there, but they said like psychically incapable of listening to more than one woman tell me how her day went. Oh, that's pretty funny. I have a Syrian friend whose father said 5. No more, no less is perfect. I have to agree, over 5 is proven unmanageable. And I think a lot of people got confused about what I was saying here. And as we go down the answers, what you'll figure out is they thought that I meant like plate spinning, um, or sleeping with multiple women at one time. And that's not entirely what I meant, but I was just trying to get people to think a little bit. Ali said 4. Somebody said indeed. Let's see who I'm muted here. Polygyny is Christian. Whatever. And then we get into a little bit some of the more interesting ones where people start saying things like, "Why would you want this?" They start throwing that moral argument in there, and I'm like, you're not even on the right. You're not only in the wrong tree, you're in the wrong forest. Let's see. And then of course you got what I said before. Same for women, but polylife is draining of time, energy, and money. She's under the assumption that she's in a control seat right there, and she's humble bragging. Like, it's such a drain. All these men, all who try will realize free time becomes 100% relationship maintenance. Imagine fighting with not just one, but 2 women, keeping them all emotionally good as they whine about your time and attention, etc. That's easy to do. You just ignore them. Nail, the word is nail, my dear. I don't know why he said dear, but somebody said unironically true. How about 4 Muslim anyone? 3, 4, 5 even. Agreed. His mother, and this is where they started getting silly with it. Agreed. His mother and his wife. Of course. True for anyone. Love is a finite thing. It's a practice. Okay, whatever. Very true. Everybody can then. That's like we do it too. Women can do anything, you can do better. And it's like, sit down. Calm down. Yep, from one Viking to another, let them compete for your love. Yes, a wife and a daughter. Why don't you say your mom? Of course, I love my grandmother, mother, wife, daughter, and granddaughter, and neighbor's daughter, and cousin's daughter, and somebody said, quote unquote, love. One is his wife, the other is his daughter. Here we go again, the same answers. As long as there's no threesomes or any homo act, why did you got to go the homo part? Why was that an option? How can, as long as he doesn't want the greatest for himself and perhaps has a low value of women. See, right there, we're already making the moral argument of any guy that does not do exactly what the woman's dating strategy is not as good. He's low value. And any women that he sees at that point are low value as well. Broken women. Man can only love the woman that's the greatest for him, not both the greatest and second greatest. Okay. Vikings eventually converted to Christianity, stopped following their false gods. Actually, some of them did and some of them didn't. But there's no Vikings at all anymore. So what does it matter? Vikings were actually a very small history footnote. They were super cool, but they were a small history footnote in the whole Scandinavian Norwegian society. Find Christ, brother. Okay. I don't know what he meant by that. The real question is can a man attract two women to love him? Yes, he can. The man has to be the man. Yeah. Okay, let's see what I muted here. No, you can't. That's not love. Okay, whatever, dog. No, alhamdulillah, 50 wives. Sorry, I don't speak Muslim. Uh, However, a man can never truly give all of himself to his woman if he has to split himself between more than one. What about a father and a husband? If you're a father and a husband, you split your time. Sure, at first, I'll agree it'll work, but what about when you have a kid with each of them? When the kids have practiced the same time in different places, you're going to have to go to either or, man. But I'm not talking about having kids, I'm talking about loving them. You can love two women. You cannot be in love with two women at the same time. Oh, can you not? You lose all credibility when Rollo Tomasi agrees with you. Rollo Tomasi and Michael Sartain are the biggest frauds in the red pill community. How so? How are they the biggest frauds? John Wall, 555, AVI. How? How? I can do more than two women at the same time. Oh, can you? Two, much more. But you need AI for it because otherwise they'd have to love you back. No, you can. First of all, they've got the cross and the angel right there in their name, so you know what that's going to be about. No, you can't. So you're condoning poly relationships. Okay, this is what I'm talking about, and this is what other guys in the community is talking about, where the conservative right and the tradcon right use the same tactics as the left and the far left and the feminists. They use the same tactics. So you tell me which one is the in the right here when they're both using the same tactics. So if you speak on something, you're automatically condoning it. Where have we heard that before? On the left. Okay, so we can absolutely love two men at the same time, then, right? See how it's like they got in their feelings about it and now they're trying to one up you? Or will you guys call us 304s because you have no consistency? Okay, where do you think you got that term from? Fresh and Fit. So you've been watching too much Fresh and Fit. Is that a manly thing to do? Is sacrificing yourself not the top tier masculine act? So I have to be this type of man, is what you're saying. Okay. You're not a Viking, you're a poser that goes to gym. Okay. Whatever you say, Mr. ABI. Just go to the gym, grow a scraggly beard, get some tattoos, and you can be a Viking too. It sounds like you got your feelings hurt there, guys. You mean your mom and your sister? Anyone can love multiple people at the same time, but only lesbians rule the poly realm. Actually, lesbians rule the domestic violence realm, and lesbians rule the divorce realm. First of all, you're wrong. Okay, whatever. This is why women don't like men anymore. I doubt it. I really doubt that this guy from Alabama speaking on dating is what made women not like men anymore. You're really giving me a lot of authority here. So, all two people viewing this live stream, just know that I have supreme authority. I can sway dating economics with a single stroke of my sword. Okay, so we got some other stuff here. Let me pull up what else they're saying. Refresh. Let's see. Men should always date women that make sense to his life. Don't be a fool and date a 30 plus woman who's damaged, usually with kids. Women will sell what she has in order to win. They'll sell purity. Best relationships I ever had. It all began, or it helps being tall and handsome. I'm thinking that this guy right here is maybe Nigerian because of the way he talks. It's definitely not his first language. Older women really have no idea how much more aggressive younger women are. All they see is their own DMs empty and their phones with no notifications. They don't see what I see. And unless you see it, they won't believe it. Yep. All right. Let's go back to this one right here. It says a 10-year age gap marriages also have higher divorce rate. Let's just look this up. Let's pull up the first one here and see what it says. Actually, what a lot of people don't take into account when they're talking about those age gaps is how many divorces they've already had. See, every time you have a divorce, it multiplies the chances of your next divorce, statistically speaking, if we're going based on what has actually happened. So by the time your third divorce comes around, you're like really high rate of a possible next divorce. Somebody said, starting with a reference point of the same age couple, a couple who has a 1 year age difference has a 3% higher likelihood of divorce. If there's a 5 year age difference, the risk is 18%. A 10-year age difference yields increased risk of 39%. If there's a 20-year age, the risk is increased to 95%. Yeah, but where are you getting that from? According to a study performed by The Atlantic. Okay, so let's go to The Atlantic. That's where you're going to get your information from? The Atlantic. Okay. That's probably where they got their information from because it's the first search. So I like how they pushed that. All right. Let's go to the next one here. McKinley Irvin family law. This might be a little bit more reputable because it's actually a family law. Let's see. According to a study published in Psychology Today, still not that reputable, but more reputable than The Atlantic. Individuals are 50% less likely to get divorced if they get married at 25 years of age than someone who is only 20 years old. However, the divorce rate climbs back up again as we age. Let's see. Okay, that's just talking about Says while many things contribute to couples' longevity, several studies have found that the larger the age gap between two spouses increase the risk of divorce. A study by professors in Emory University found a 5 year age gap resulted in an 18% higher chance. See, we're going back to it's that same study. It's that same study from Atlantic. That's what I'm saying about how you have to really pay attention to information that you're getting. And I would say I'm gonna click on another one. I bet it pulls from the same study. It verbatim. I just pulled up Sachs and Hess, and they're just quoting the same study. All right, National Institute of Health. Let's try this. Okay. See if I can pull this up. And see what a lot of people do is they'll read the abstract of these studies and they won't actually read what happened. Okay. How do I read it? How do I read the article, though? Okay. Guess we'll be reading that. Here's another one quoting the same study. That's what I'm saying, like guys, you really got to pay attention to what you're looking for because they're all pulling the same study. Because see, I can go right here and it will say why couples with big age gaps are happier despite the social disapproval. Hmm. First sentence: romantic couples with a large age gap often raise eyebrows. Not if it's an older woman. They'll just give you a go. You go, girl. Let's see here. Across Western countries, about 8% of all married heterosexual couples can be classified as having a large age gap, 10 years or more. 8%. So it's already got limited evidence. About 25% of male male unions and 15% of female female unions demonstrate a large age gap. Many of the reasons proposed for age gap couples have been largely rooted in evolutionary explanations and focus on explaining older man, younger woman pairings. From this perspective, it's thought men's preferences for younger women and women's preferences for older men relate to reproductive fitness. This is the extent to which someone has good genes indicated by their attractiveness and sense of energy, and extent to which they are a good investment. Um, In couples with an age gap, it's more likely the woman is younger. This is probably because women place more importance on resources and men on fertility. Hmm. Okay. But because the building of resources takes time, we tend to acquire resources later in life, or so are older by the time we acquired enough wealth and resources to comfortably provide for others. Hmm. Many people assume age gap couples fare poorly when it comes to the relationship outcomes, but some studies find the relationship satisfaction reported by age gap couples is higher. These couples often also seem to report greater trust and commitment and lower jealousy than similar age couples. Over three-quarters of couples where younger women are partnered with older men report satisfying romantic relationships. Hmm, that's weird because that's almost like the opposite of what you were saying. See, here's the deal: you got your information from the same website everybody else did, which is the Atlantic, which is like a newspaper, and they're not real. But if you go based on experience, they're happier. By happier, I mean they get along better because being happy is not the goal state because you can't maintain happiness. It's not maintainable. You're happy in the doing of the process. Explain that to somebody, watch your head explode. But something to understand there is you're wrong, but nice try. Best relationships I ever had. Yeah, basically. But as far as back to the original post, let's see, where is my here right here? Here's the original tweet again. I found it. Okay, let's see if we got any more replies since then. Uh, okay, I guess that's it. Now, going back to what I was saying before, um, which is talking about if a man can love more than one woman at one time. Yes, he can. And the reason being is because men's brains operate differently than women do. And he can separate his emotion from his sexuality. But I'll go a step further besides that and say, and women can do that, but they have to try to do that. And when a woman is able to actually do that, it's not good because then she's going to have a lot of trouble pair bonding because she's going to think of sex as recreational as opposed to as an emotional bonding of the two people. Um, I'll go a step further and say that a man can do that. They can love more than one woman at a time because you will love different things about that woman. And I'm not saying like a guy sleeping with multiple women. I'm talking about a guy loving multiple women. That's two different things. Okay. And I don't want women and blue pill guys to conflate that together. Okay. It's two different things. Now, uh, he can absolutely love more than one woman at one time. Reason being is because he will love different things about those women. A lot of times the women will be complete opposites. So he'll love one woman for this and one woman for that. And that's just the way it is. And now, as far as more than that, I don't know. because I'll just have to, I just have to tell you, I don't know. I'm not going to be one of those guys that says, "Oh yeah, you can do," if I haven't seen it or seen a study. Okay, but as far as that goes, yes, you can absolutely love more than one time. That's happened several times in my life, uh, and you may not have expressed that you love that person, but you did. You caught feelings, so to speak. So you can absolutely do that. Now, can you focus on both of them at the same time? Yes, but you have to try because naturally, what will happen is you'll start to give more attention to the one that is acting more favorably. So, and that's kind of what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to reward good behavior with your attention and pull back your attention from bad behavior, if that makes sense. So that's something that's kind of automatic that you need to understand in dating, anyways. Um, but what do you guys think? My whole two listeners that are listening right now, what do you guys think about that subject? Let me know. 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 Never say I love you first. Yep, that's obvious. Okay. Back to that. So, what do you guys think? Yes, you can. It's just going to be a little bit harder to maintain than it would be with one woman. And a lot of guys are saying, God, that's a lot of work. And I already don't like dealing with one woman. Why am I going to deal with two women? Well, you would have to um, prioritize certain things and you would have to figure out game. You would have to have game, of course. And you would have to understand sexual dynamics. And you would have to run techniques like fogging, agreeing, and amplifying. Make sure you're not daring, things like that. So, and sometimes it can be fun. Sometimes it be a little bit stressful, but so can one woman. So, you know, let's see here. All right. Anything else you guys want to know? Hmm. 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 And any anime news that you guys want to know about in the meantime? There was a very interesting episode of Magical Girls in the past week or so. Where's it at? Oh yeah. Um, this last episode of Magical Girls was pretty hilarious because the whole concept is that the girl gets magical powers from supposedly an evil character, and instead of becoming a normal magical girl like the ones she looks up to, she becomes like a bad magical girl. And instead of like a magical wand, she has a magical crop that she uses, and anything she touches turns into a monster to fight the good girls. But she realized that she actually has a fetish for basically dominatrix type sadism. So she actually enjoys torturing them, and she enjoys like tickling them and making them squirm and all these kind of things, just messing with them. She just enjoys their faces they make. So this last episode, she has to go up against another group of evil magical girls, and she has to fight the head boss. And with her ability, she actually changes the head boss into like a little small character and then bullies her. And then she has this process where it's very much rooted in BDSM because what she'll do is just she'll abuse them and then she'll end it with a like a loving, caring, um, what'd you call that? Process afterwards, ritual afterwards, where she loves on them and cares for them, talks about how beautiful they are and how pretty they are, and da 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 da, and for having that experience. So that's pretty funny. Talk about how deep that show is. All right. Mm-hmm. I am not buying Pro. Okay. Let's go to this side. That's pretty much all I got, guys. So if you guys don't have any questions, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section about this subject. And we'll just continue on. But also, I can talk for a minute about the age gap relationships because that was brought up before. In my uh, experience, anytime I have dated somebody with a large age gap younger than me, they have always super invested and like really super invested in a relationship, and it was a good relationship, unless they had some other kind of underlying issues like BPD or something like that. Then of course, it would go up and down. But most of the time, it was a good relationship. So maybe you're just mad. Maybe you're just mad because you're an older woman and there ain't no good men out there because it takes men longer to acquire resources and experience and become better in the dating history. And by the time they get around that, they don't want to date you. They want to date what they can get now. Okay. So maybe stop hating. But I'll see you guys later. Bye.